You know what confuses me? As I did my studies going back to the 50s and the 60s, in the late 70s, black men had no problem with strong black women. We had no problem. Matter of fact, strong black women in those days were actually celebrated because we needed black women to be strong. Because we know there was tested times going on back then. There was a lot of racism. There was a lot of backlash. There was a lot going on. So the black women had to stand strong, especially through the times when black men were at their weakest. They had to hold down the family. And I feel that a lot of black men today don't understand the history of that. They don't understand why the black woman had to be strong. But if you did your correct studying and your correct history, you would see that they had to be strong. They had no choice. Being strong was a survival tactic that black women had to use under the conditions. Because a lot of black women were also maidens and maids, and they had to do certain things they really didn't want to do. They had to go over there and babysit for those people on the other side of town. They had to be strong, to look in the face of their enemies and smile and take care of their children. See, back then, a lot of work that black women had was babysitting, and it was babysitting for Caucasian people. Or they was working in the kitchen or cooking. See, so they had to be strong. The exterior had to be strong to go through that, because you know that these are the same people that are doing disjustice to your people. But you still have to stand there and smile. And you have to stand there and do whatever you had to do to bring food and finances home to feed your family. To me, I applaud that strength that black women had, that they was able to do that, to make sure there was food on the table for us. But today, for some reason, the strong black woman is ridiculed because American culture have seeped into the minds of black people. See, let me give you a quick history lesson real fast, because I don't want to spend that much time on it. First, you had the feminist movement. That came. The Caucasian woman created the feminist movement, okay, because she was getting treated bad by her white male. That's the reason why she created that movement. That whole movement was because of that, and that only. In our culture, black women were seen as strong, and being a strong woman was acceptable in our culture. But see, the problem is you got a lot of black people now crossing over to American culture way of thinking. Because see, the white man wasn't going to have no strong woman amongst him. His woman had to sit down and shut up and don't even speak back. She wasn't even having the right to vote back then. She was fighting for her existence, period. Why you think a lot of them have a lot of resentment towards white males and they go out and date other races because of this? But when it came to black culture, we understood the importance of having a strong woman. And for some reason, we're getting away from that. And this media then clogged up our heads. And now we don't want our women to be strong anymore. We want them to be docile like the rest of these women. But we had the best of the women. We had the strongest of the women. So why would we want to water down her strength? It doesn't make no sense. But American culture has screwed our brains up because we're so into this new age stuff that we became Americanized. A lot of black people have become Americanized through Facebook, Twitter, video games. They just Americanized the hell out of you with these PS3s and all these video games. We then became so much Americanized because everything that you see on TV and video games and commercials and every medium that they use is all has the American influence behind it. And that's why today we don't understand what our culture is about. We're black, but we don't even know our culture. We don't even know the history of our culture. That's why it's very important to study. Me as a young man, I understood this. You have to study. And now, black men, we ask the black woman, why are you so strong? And she says, I'm just being myself. And that's where the conflict of interest come in, because we think they should be like these American women. Why ain't you more like her? Why don't you act like them? But she's telling you constantly, I'm just being myself. And you ask her, well, why are you like that? And she says, I've been like this for the last 200,000 years. Why do you have a problem with it now? See, that's what happens when we become Americanized. And most black men have. And I love my brothers. But understand that having a strong woman is a plus. I have no problem with my strong black woman. She can be as strong as she want to be. Because I don't like weak women. Matter of fact, I don't want a weak woman. Because when the tides hit against the walls, I want her to stand firm right by my side. I don't want a woman that's going to crumble and go run in the corner and look at me and put all of the priority on my shoulder. I want a woman that's going to stand side by side and say, you know what, I got your back. Don't worry about it. I'm here. And understand this. Go do your studying. You'll understand who the strong black woman is. In certain places of the world, she is celebrated. And we got to understand that we have become so Americanized that now we want to demonize the strong black woman, not knowing that she is a plus. So what I'm saying is, as brothers, we need to get away from this American theology, because it is American theology. And we need to get away from that and get back to who we are. Our core beliefs is strong black man, strong black woman, strong family. Peace. One love.